Hey guys, so I have a little story to tell you guys, but it's also like telling you something that happened to me in a bad situation. Like, I'm not embarrassed to let you guys know what happens in my life and all that stuff, so you can kind of see that I'm a little, kind of beat up in some ways. Sorry for the mess in the background. There's a story of the reason why there's such a mess, and I'll explain to you guys a little bit later. I went to Marshall, Texas with my husband and his parents. Left on Friday and came back on Monday. My sister-in-law moved from Longview, Texas to Marshall, Texas, and she kind of has like her own little farm out there, her little land or whatnot. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I've actually never seen anything like it. Me and my husband wanted to go to the mall because where my sister-in-law lives, it's like 15 minutes away from Louisiana. But then I told my husband, you know what? I want to ride the horse. And my husband said, well, either we ride the horse or we go to Louisiana. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to be here for this long. Might as well just take advantage of it and ride the horse. So my husband was like, all right, we'll just do that. So we kind of rode the horse. Well, he rode it first because I told my husband I want to ride it after he's kind of tired to the point where he's not gonna run or anything like that. And my husband was like, okay, that's fine. So he kind of went onto the horse and was riding it for quite some time. And so I was like, okay, it's my turn now. So I basically got up on the horse, and my husband was kind of holding on to like the horse, like with a kind of like with the rope while I was climbing it. And so basically the horse kind of followed anywhere my husband kind of went. So that's what happened. We were riding it. I decided to tell my husband, let me go, let me be by myself. I want to kind of take control over the horse. We were fine. The horse was riding perfectly fine. He was going everywhere I was telling him to. I wasn't pulling too hard on like the rope or anything. Out of nowhere, the horse started to run. I don't know if it was because the horse got scared or what it was, but the horse literally started to run. I tried stopping the horse. The horse did not want to stop. Instead of stopping, it went a lot more faster. After that, I kind of lost control. I couldn't stop the horse anymore from stop running. So at the same time as he was running a lot faster, I kind of fell off the horse, and as I fell off the horse, I crashed into a tree. Like my whole body slammed so hard onto the tree. So it was really, really bad in that case. Like as soon as I fell off onto the ground, literally the only thing that I saw was my husband running towards me. And after that, I couldn't see anything. Like my eyes literally, like I just saw white. Like I felt like in that moment I was gonna die. And I'm sorry if I'm tearing up a little. It's just like this literally happened a couple days ago. Like difficult for me to talk about it because I really haven't talked to anybody about it. So I'm very, very sorry if I'm tearing up. But in this situation, I felt like I was dying. I couldn't breathe because I guess because of the same of hitting the tree, it like hit my chest to the point where I couldn't breathe. So I think I was kind of panicking at the same time. But I think that's why I was kind of struggling I was struggling to breathe. After that, I just kind of remember I couldn't see my husband at all. Like I couldn't see him, because everywhere I turned, like it was just white. But I did feel my husband being there. I could feel him hugging me and trying to clean up my face. He was saying that my mouth and my nose was bleeding so badly. At that point, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if to try to get up or anything, but the fact that I couldn't really, you know, see, I felt like that was the end of it. I felt like I really was dying in that moment, and I'm not really exaggerating. It's just to know the fact that you can't really like breathe, or that you couldn't see anything. Like, I couldn't even see my husband. Like, that's how difficult it was for me at that time. And I know my husband was like super scared at that moment because he's never seen anything like that. I think he kind of got traumatized from the situation, knowing that he kind of saw everything. And the only thing I could pretty much is like tell my husband I loved him, just in case. After the time, I kind of started to breathe slower. I couldn't breathe as fast anymore, so it was like to the point where I was just breathing really, really slow. And my husband was, I think he noticed that I couldn't breathe as much anymore, so that's when he decided to call the ambulance. And so he called the ambulance. Ambulance came within like 5 minutes. It really didn't take that long for them to like get there, and they tried laying me down to like lay me on the bed, but like up to my chest down to like my bladder area, I was in so much pain. So when the ambulance tried to like lay me down, it was a little hard for me to lay down because of the pain. So all I heard was the ambulance, or the guy, and he said, "Oh, that is not good." And so that's when they set me up onto the bed thing, and they pushed me so fast into the ambulance. And I thought like something was super wrong, because hearing the ambulance say, "Oh, that is not right, that is not good, that is not," I got so scared. And as soon as we get there, we go into the ER or whatever, and they take me into the room. And at this point, I'm already kind of starting to see a little bit clearly. I kind of start to see a little bit of color coming in and all that. And they had to like change me. They told me I need to get out of my clothes, but it was so difficult. I had like 3 nurses kind of help me change, including my husband. My husband was being very, very helpful, kind of take everything, because I couldn't like literally sit up. I couldn't move my body, and like everything was, I was in just so much pain. And then out of nowhere, okay, so they take my clothes off, and I put those little robes or whatever, robes that they have at the hospital. So I put those on, and I'm just in there. And then I have one nurse like putting a needle on the other arm, and I had another nurse doing something, taking blood pressure on this arm. And then like I just have so many nurses all around me. And just to know the fact that there were so many nurses all around me like scared me even more, because I've been in the hospital once already. This is actually my 2nd time being in the hospital, especially in the emergency room. And in the first visit, there wasn't so many people. It was maybe like 1 or 2 nurses. Here there was maybe like up to 3 to 4 nurses into the room. That literally kind of made me have kind of like a panic. The nurse kind of told me to lay down for a little while, and they were gonna come into my room and let me know when they were gonna do the x-rays or whatnot. So I'm in there. They gave me so many medication for the pain, but the medication was just making me throw up so badly. Like, I literally had nausea the whole entire time I was in the emergency room, and it was like so bad. The fact that my chest hurt all in this area right here, and my ribs were the ones that were hurting the most. Throwing up was making my ribs in so much pain, because they were already in pain. And to throw up, you kind of have to use your body to kind of throw up, especially like in the rib area. So I was just having so much trouble trying to literally throw up. So the nurse was like, "Okay, we need to give you more medicine. And for the nausea, this time it wasn't for the pain. They were giving me so many medication for the nausea. Nothing was working. I was just throwing up everything. Anything that would go down, it would come back up. And the nurses, I told the nurse, I said, my throat is hurting, like it's really dry, can I have some water? And the nurse was like, no, we can't give you any water. And I was like, what kind of a hospital is this? Until the nurse was like, it's just that we can't give you any water, just in case if you have to go into surgery. You can't eat anything before surgery. And I'm just like, okay. They finally take me up to this like room, and I do x-rays. They did x-rays and whatnot. After the x-rays were done, I went back to the ER room, and I was just in there in so much pain, and I was just laying in there. The nurse was like, this is the last time you're gonna get up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I laid there. I tried taking a nap. It wasn't working. For some reason, my body was in so much pain that the pain wouldn't like let me try to sleep. I think my husband kind of got tired of me telling him, can you put it up? Can you put the bed up? Can you put the bed down? Can you put the bed up? Can you put the bed down? And I just kept telling him up and down, like every 5 minutes. I think at that point my husband kind of got tired, but I think it didn't really make him tired because he knew that he was helping me in some way. My main doctor comes in, and he's like, okay, so you are fine, the x-rays are fine, like you can drink water now. And I was like, yes, finally. So the doctor leaves. My husband comes and he hugs me, and he's like, I'm so glad that you're fine and that nothing is broken, or your ribs aren't broken or anything like that. You don't have to have surgery. And I'm like, that's great. So the doctor comes in, and he like brings me water, or the nurse, actually I think it was the nurse. She brings me water. As soon as I drank the water, I threw up the water. And so the nurse was like, okay, I'm gonna have to give you something else for the vomiting. And I'm like, okay. So she comes and brings me something else for the vomiting. That didn't work. I stayed there for another like maybe 20 to 30 minutes vomiting, and she was like, okay, nothing is working, something must be wrong, and all this. And since the doctor was like, no, we're gonna discharge her now because she seems like she's fine now. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna discharge you, you're gonna go home now, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, okay, fine, like I'm good, like as long as my ribs aren't broken, like I'm fine. They end up supposedly discharging me. Then another doctor comes in because for some reason, since they were gonna discharge me, they finally take out all of my needles that were all over my arms. They finally take it off. This nurse took all of them off, and she put on this thing to like stop the bleeding and a band-aid, and it was like good to go. So they were gonna discharge me. Then I started to throw up, but I kind of went like this with my arm and kind of like try to like hold on to the bars so I can kind of sit up properly, so I was able to throw up. And while I did that, my husband saw that like my arm was like literally bleeding. Like the vest that I had on was like the whole part was like bleeding all the way down, and like literally there was like blood just dripping down all of my arms. And my husband got kind of scared just seeing all that blood coming out. So he went and called a different doctor, and he went to go get him. And so he like kind of cleaned everything up. My sister-in-law was kind of scared, and she was like, is that normal? And the doctor said, I don't know. And I was like, what kind of doctors are they? They don't know if that is normal. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm done. Like I just want to sleep. I just want to rest. Like my body is hurting. Like I don't know what to do. Like I didn't know anything at this point. And so after all of that, the doctor that came in to fix my thing, you know, because he's a doctor from something else, he went and told my actual doctor. She said he went to go tell him that I couldn't stop throwing up, that I was still throwing up and all this. And so they had already discharged me. I had already signed the papers of being discharged and everything. And then the doctor comes back in and he says, oh, we're not going to discharge you because for some reason you keep throwing up, and I feel like there's something else that's wrong with you that it's making you not wanting to stop stopping to throw up. And I'm just like there, like, okay, that's fine. So 5 minutes later, like, there's another nurse that comes in, and she like sticks like something like right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can see where she like stuck the needle in my arm right there. So she like sticks the needle like right here, and it hurt like a mother effer. Like, I was in so much pain. Like, here it's different because you just have so much meat in here that doesn't hurt, but the fact that you don't have nothing here, like no meat, no nothing, it's all just bone, like it literally hurt like crap. And she like stuck the needle and left it there. And then there was another doctor that came in with a wheeling chair and like rolled me up all the way up to the other room. And this wasn't the ER anymore. This was just like a regular room in the hospital. So they rolled me up to the actual room. And then again, there's like 3 nurses that they come in here, 3 different nurses that work up in that floor. And they're like working everything. And then there was just like so many people that kept asking me, what happened, what happened. There were so many nurses that at the end of the day came in just to kind of see all my scratches and everything that had happened. So I had told them like where all my scratches were and everything, and people were just so surprised and everything. But the nurses were so sweet. Like, I thought they were just so sweet. They tried to make me laugh and everything, and I thought they were just so kind. So at this point, like, yeah, there was like 3 doctors trying to hook me up to a monitor, and another doctor taking my blood pressure, and another doctor just watching them do everything, and another one was like listening to my heartbeat and was telling me to breathe in and out and all this stuff. So it was just so much going on. Like, I still was scared because I've never seen so many doctors in one room at the same time. And then in the middle of the night, after that was pretty much it. My husband was like, it's already like 1 in the morning, we need to try to go to sleep. And we're like, okay. So every like 2 hours in the middle of the night, they came in to check on me, and I was like, oh, they did not let me sleep. Every 2 hours they kept coming in. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't anything. And I was like, I didn't know they do that. And it was like 3 of them all at once, or like 4 doctors at the exact same time. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, when am I gonna leave? Because we were supposed to leave on Monday. We were at the hospital on Sunday night, and then we were still there. And then Monday morning, I thought that maybe I was gonna be discharged early morning, but no. They kept doing tests. They kept trying to give me foods like slowly. Since my face kind of hit the tree, it kind of busted my nose, and I kind of bit my bottom of my lip. But these front teeth right here, they're like super sore that I can't eat anything. So anything hot would burn the bottom of my lip, but I couldn't eat anything like super hard because of the teeth at the top. They're like super sensitive right now. At that point, they were extremely sensitive. Now they're still kind of sensitive, but not as bad as they were right in that second. And so they brought me soup. I couldn't eat soup because the soup was too hot for my lip, and it was just like soup. They brought me chicken noodle soup, but it was just broth. It wasn't like, there was no noodles in it. But I ate everything else. I drank apple juice. I ate a Jello, and then I had like some kind of like ice cream kind of thing. So I kind of ate that, and I told the doctor, I said, I'm really hungry. Like, this isn't working for me. Like, my stomach was growling, and since I was in so much pain from my ribs, I was like, my stomach is growling so badly, and because they're growling, it hurts my stomach super bad. So I need something that's gonna keep my appetite down. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna have to talk to the doctor, because I was in a diet that I can only eat solids. Like, I couldn't really like actually eat food. So the doctor was like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go call the doctor and see what I can do. So she goes and tells the doctor. She brings me a sandwich and a Jello and an apple juice, and I'm just like, okay, this is fine. So I ate my Jello because the Jellos were so freaking good there. And then after a while, I ate the sandwich. It took me a little while to eat the sandwich, but there was like 2 sandwiches, and I kind of like cut in half, but like stacked up on top of each other. And so the doctor comes in, the nurse comes in just to kind of see where I was at, and she saw that I ate the whole first sandwich. or the first half of the sandwich, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, bless your heart, you were so hungry, weren't you?" And I was like, yeah, I was starving me to death here. And the nurse kind of started laughing. She's like, "Oh my god, you poor thing," and this and that. And at the end, she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go and see if they can like switch your diet or whatever." And I'm just like, "Okay." So she's like, "Oh my god," she comes in with this like tray, and she's like, "Oh my god, do you see this? You got something so delicious now." And I look at it, and she brings me like a hamburger and some fries, and I'm like, "Yes, that's what I'm freaking talking about." And then my husband was bullying me to begin with, because they brought me some fries, but they were crunchy as hell. And I'm just like, why? Like, why would they bring me, like, knowing how my teeth are right now, like, why would they want to bring me crunchy fries? And my husband's like, "Well, it's because anytime anybody comes through here, they're hurt of something else, not from the mouth." And I'm like, I know that, but like, fries are supposed to be soft, not crunchy. These were crunchy like freaking potato chips. I'm like, this is freaking hard. And the fact that they were like thick, it was harder for me to bite on. So I'm like, it's not supposed to be like this. Fries are supposed to be soft. So I ate a couple of fries. I just had to like kind of chew it from like the back of like my wisdom teeth back here. I had to like bite it from back there, and I was just like, this is just so difficult for me to eat. And I struggled eating, to be honest. It took me so long to eat the fries, and I ate some fries, and I ate some of that burger, but just something about that burger, it had like bacon in it, and I'm not a very big fan of bacon. I'm sorry for those who are, but I'm just not. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they were good. It's just, I don't know, it's just, I don't really eat bacon. And like after that, like I ate maybe some of my burger, and the nurse just came in and brought everything, and I was there for a couple of hours, and the nurse was just like, "I want to help you out in something, but I just don't know what to help you with." And I'm just like, "Well, right now I don't really need any help. Like, I just want to go home." Now at this point, my husband, after that day, my husband didn't go to work for like 3 or 4 days. He stayed here with me because it's difficult. It was very difficult for me to like get up and go to the bathroom, and my husband had to do everything. I couldn't clean, I couldn't cook. That's why my room is such a mess, because I can't bend over, I can't clean, I can't move around, I can't do nothing. My husband had to change me, he had to help me get in the shower, he had to help me go to the bathroom, and like, it just, to be honest, it surprises me I'm very surprised for those people out there that really can't walk for the rest of their lives and having people to do everything for them. But just to me, I felt so frustrated to know that I couldn't move, I couldn't walk, I couldn't clean, I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't, to the point where I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. Like, I had to have somebody take me there, walk me there, pull my pants down, sit in the toilet. Like, it was very, very difficult for me. And I was just like, oh no, like, this is just too much. I felt like giving up in that moment. I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm tired of not being able to do things on my own. I felt like giving up. I felt like so much, like, I just felt so down on myself. Like, I really put myself down because I couldn't do anything. So I'm very proud of those people out there who really can't walk for so long, and like knowing that they can't walk for the rest of their lives and they still haven't given up. So that kind of helped me get myself up, and all you guys as well, knowing that I want to be better, and I don't want to be in this much pain. And in order to not be in so much pain, I can't give up, and I need to literally get up and try to walk by myself and try to do this. Like, even though I was in so much pain, I pushed myself to be able to walk on my own, go to the bathroom on my own, get up from the bed on my own, lay down on the bed on my own. And I'm at the point now where, like, my husband left me by myself yesterday for the first time. He let me by myself. Today is the second time. So now he is finally working, and I'm here by myself. And now I still struggle. It takes me a little while to get somewhere, but I get there on my own now. I can walk by myself even though I'm limping, because again, I do have a broken ankle, or not a broken ankle, but it's just like very swollen right now, and I just can't put too much pressure on it. Again, my nose is kind of busted from the same thing of like hitting myself on the tree. My lip here, it's not as bad anymore as it was, but I guess since the same thing of falling kind of bit my lip and it busted so bad. Now it's getting a little better. I kind of have a scratch on my arm here. Everything else is just kind of bruised up from like you know, my boob down all the way down towards my thigh. And the only thing on my leg or my thigh is I have a scratch, but I can't really get up. Or let me see if I can get up and show you guys. You can see it's just right here. It's just really bruised up, and it's like I think I like burned myself with my pants or something as I was falling. So it's just kind of burnt, and it's just like bruised up all the way, all this area right here. Now I'm doing a little better than what I did. I still struggle to go to sleep because of the pain. It's starting to hurt my back. I can't really stand up for that long. I can only stand up for maybe like up to 2 minutes, and my body starts to hurt from trying to stand up so much. So for the most part, I try to sit down, but I do try to stand up constantly, just so my body doesn't like, I want to work up my body just so it can kind of used to it. I wanted to get used to moving around and or whatnot. So for the most part, I try to move around and keep it active. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's not like something that you guys thought that y'all were here, but yeah, let me guys know if y'all like this video. Make sure to thumbs up the video, like and subscribe, and share it if you haven't already. And that's pretty much it, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.